Greetings, Earthlings. It has been a while since I have made a video. Um, I want to start with a meme that I screenshot last week. It goes like this. A therapist said that sometimes being a loner is a trauma response. You're so used to people you love not showing up for you or walking away, or you may have grown up in a toxic environment. That the only one you could depend on was you. So you naturally feel safe when you're alone. That's the end of the meme. That's all there is to it. There's no discussion about what that means, the presuppositions in the meme, how you can potentially identify if that's going on with you and find ways to balance things out a bit. It's true that sometimes being a loner is a trauma response. It's also true that being alone is something that, for those of us on this awakening consciousness path, we know is important. So, how do you tell the difference between I only feel safe when I'm alone, or my perspectives inform me that people around me are not safe, that everyone around me is not safe, or the world is not safe, or I am not safe? How do you differentiate that from I enjoy being alone because I connect to myself, because I connect with nature, because I enjoy surrounding myself with nature? My solitude feels like a pathway into getting to know myself more, things like that. And how much alone, how much isolation is healthy or unhealthy. The reason that I want to talk about this is because it's a major narrative within the New Age that um, on this path, you get to establish boundaries, individuation, sovereignty. You begin to see the Narcy system, the Narcy scripts. You have a completely different perspective of the way you grew up, your family system, the wounds and the traumas playing out through your parents, their parents, within the family system itself, your various relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, all of that, how things played out, what was functioning there. And you probably have a lot of wounds and you probably have a lot of blind spots. And so on this path, we also understand that um, there are so many contradictions that are equally true. All paradox can be reconciled, right? And so it can be challenging sometimes to balance what is most beneficial for you, what is most healthy for you. It's so much about new age narratives, whether it's healing narratives, consciousness narratives, integration narratives, all of which go hand in hand, right? Have the potential to take you up into the cloud, take you out of the world, take you out of connection, all of which will be validated by a plethora of memes or tarot readers or someone's article that they wrote that gets reposted, as well as your own parts, your own psyche parts that are looking for um, validation that your isolation or your loneliness or your beliefs that you're not safe or that everyone's an asshole or whatever are accurate. And this is a very slippery slope because the game in this, if you will, the challenge in this is, are you able to identify what is true for you and when it is true for you and how much it is true for you? So by that I mean in one relationship might be actually really unhealthy for you and harmful to you, and it's not something to entertain. But another relationship, maybe someone is just completely not like you at all. They don't think like you. They don't believe what you believe. They don't see what you see. They don't know what you know. In fact, it could be the complete opposite of you. But is it unhealthy or harmful to be in a relationship with them? So much about inner work is remembering that there's only one you, finding out who that is, figuring out who that is through the heart center, and allowing others to be as they are. Energies, current energies that fuel narratives around healing, consciousness, integration have the potential to distort what actually is healing or consciousness or integration, and have a great potential to further isolate, to further disempower, to create deeper judgments about self and others, to disenfranchise, to disconnect from family, from friends, from community. And meanwhile, we're all on these black boxes and all this social media, and it's all bringing one up into the cloud. You have to go down to go up. This is true on an exalted level and on a level that is very exoteric within this world, within this mainstream matrix. When we are not grounded, and when I say grounded, yes, I'm talking about going out in nature and taking your shoes off and listening to the birds and all that. Yes. But really, for the sake of this video, I'm talking about being grounded in your life, in your relationships, which might look like looking into someone's eyes when they're speaking to you and really hearing them, allowing relationships and allowing your connections to ground you, to ground your air energy. So if you're catastrophizing or ruminating, or your mind is full of what you have the ability to perceive as at least some energy of potential delusion or illusion or something like that, which is so commonplace now with all of the psychic um, clairaudience and readings and psychic, and everyone's a reader and all of that. Hang on, my thing just got blurry, so I have to turn my camera on and off. All right, one sec, guys. Bear. Okay, technical challenges. That's just how it goes. Okay, that's better. Um, it, you might think that you're doing healing work or that you're integrating some new energy, some more empowered energy or something like that. But if it's taking you out of the world, if it's taking you out of relationships, out of connection, and you're going up more, it's more about like connecting to the divine as opposed to connecting to yourself through human relationships. Let me say that in another way. Connecting to, okay, going through yourself to connect to the divine, as opposed to going through yourself to connect to your relationships and the world and being here, which is the divine, here right now, in this world of matter, mother, matter. If that's happening, um, a lot of times you're not going to know it because that's actually a coping mechanism that is helping you deal with various past traumas, or perhaps even spiritual attack energy, shit storms of chaos that affect every aspect of your life that are coming at you, things like that. The message is going to be you can't trust other people. You consistently would benefit from moving from a space of self-protection, things like that. Um, and because we all need, on a human level, we need connection. We need relation. Well, look, everything here is relationships. Like I have a relationship to this pen because I write with it. I write with it. So I mean, we have a relationship, right? Everything is relationships. Any matrix system, any human, your car, your bed, everything is a relationship. And so when a lot of things go down in your realm, in your world, that seems to be creating a dissociation from or a break with aspects of your relationships, whatever they are, and perhaps there's a lot of that going on at once. Be wary of the relationships you might be trying to create to replace those things as a means to seek support, validation, love by going up, talking to guides. For myself, it was my higher self. That was not what I thought it was. Okay. It is so important to love yourself enough to create boundaries with yourself that don't allow you to go up. Because the way up is through the down, is through the down. Your relationships. What can be done with this relationship? What can be done in this relationship? Is there something there? If you feel like you're surrounded with people who like have no idea what you know, and you're allowing that to inform your isolation or um your daily just perspectives of people. I'm not saying that there isn't truth in that and that that's not your experience, okay? But these spaces have the potential to become very harmful in that they may be taking you further from what your actual intentions are, which is to awaken and to become more conscious and more integrated with the truth of your soul, or perhaps more aligned with your soul, your spirit, your essence, whatever those behaviors might be, or those actions might be, drawing from your will. And so when lots of situations are going down, you might not even know that the ways you're responding to that, like you're responding to things that are challenges for you to choose more grounded, to choose more in the relationships, to choose love more and more and more as deeply as you can across a spectrum of energy, depending on the situation. Okay. Everything will be informing you that it's like this sucks. This is not good. Like your fire energy will be like full on. And anytime that you are experiencing ongoing situations that seem to be creating that, I invite you to question what that energy is. Don't just assume that it's just life shit. Everybody's crazy. The world is crazy. I mean, that's true also, you know, that's true also. But don't just assume that's all that's going on. Consider that when you do activate your will and you're responding to those things or you are navigating whatever those things are, okay, that it's possible that the events themselves have a potential to create a will in you and responses in you that are not organic to your original soul spirit essence. And that's the game. That's the challenge. And things can get very, very funky in these spaces, in these energies right now. Very, very funky. I personally highly recommend if you have any clairaudience going on that you shut it the hell down. That's my recommendation. Stay centered in yourself, in your mind. Be aware of potentials for mind control coming in through social media, other events that seem to be synchronicities that are giving you truth. It's possible there's synchronicities that are feeding delusions and illusions and perceptions that are actually disempowering and taking you further from love, further from connection, further from staying grounded in the world. And unless you want to go up into the cloud, into what is the artificial divine, it is very, very beneficial to stay as grounded as possible and activate deep discernment. And this is tough. This is tricky. This is challenging because the energies are trickster energies. They're tough. And so, really, I suppose what this video might be is for some, maybe you'll look back and remember it and it will be helpful then. For others, it might be validating for recent experiences or experiences that you've had in the past. And for others, you might sit and think and say everything is a swirling cesspool of despair for you right now, being sort of facetious with that, right? But let's say like there's a whole bunch of crap going down in so many aspects of your life, and you might reconsider energies and what's organic to you, what is being created in you to create artificial outcomes that then you're going to have to dig yourself out of, which will also benefit you, by the way, because you'll do it because you're awesome. If you have any specific situations, I'm trying to be really general here, and honestly, I hope that this message can be heard within this generalization. But if you would like any specific support or assistance, reach out to me. You can find me at Fuller Consciousness. Um, and yeah, I don't know when I'll be back, but I'll be back. Lots of love.